To the left here.
Mike Hurst from Dallas Mavericks. What did you see there in the second half where it's clicking more for you guys offensively versus the first half where you kind of struggled a little bit?
We were more physical on defense. That's about it. And we came out the second half. Second half is the way we should play the whole game, so we got to learn from that.
Hola Luka, quería saber acerca de, ¿nos puedes explicar qué tan físico fue este partido y sobre todo el reto de la defensa de los Clippers?
Sí, creo que han jugado una defensa muy buena, muy física, sobre todo en el primer tiempo, así que tenemos que acostumbrarnos a eso y jugar mejor.
Right here. Right here.
How much were you guys, I guess, preparing for Kawhi? How much changes both mentally and on the court when he's not out there?
We were prepared like he was going to play, obviously, but that shouldn't change our mentality. Their mentality was next man up. I think they executed very well. But we just got to stay focused 48 minutes. It's playoffs, so we got to stay focused 48 minutes.
Do you think the mentality was effective?
Sorry?
Do you think the mentality was effective?
I don't know. It should have. I don't know.
To your left here.
Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. In the first half, as you said, the Clippers are more physical. How much of a factor was Zubac in that? And like, weren't you guys able to do a better job of keeping him from getting off that big start?
Yeah, I think it was definitely the X factor today. I would say that. But it was a big factor for them. Rebounding, scoring too. So we gotta be more physical with him and do a better job.
To your right here.
Yeah, that's right. I know 3 years ago when you got to face the Clippers in the playoffs, you did a great job of just making them have to play bigger players. How does this year's Clippers lineup with guys that are more like your size, how does that affect you on the offensive end?
I just gotta stay aggressive. That was my bad in the first half. Wasn't aggressive enough, so I just gotta stay aggressive and find the open man.
Right here.
Tim McMahon, ESPN, you, Kyrie, J.K., Gafford have all talked about not being physical enough. Why do you think you guys came out flat, and how do you address that? How do you change that?
I don't know why we did, but we just gotta watch film and come out in the second game with the same energy we came out in the second half.
To your left.
A little bit of frustration down third, fourth quarter in transition where you kind of had a couple of turnovers passing into down the court. Is there going to be a point of emphasis going forward in practice tomorrow and kind of manage that transitional big turnovers passing to the man down the court?
That's great. I've been there the whole season, so I'll still throw it if I see somebody open, I'll throw it.
Luka, their defense seemed to really bog down the role players. You and Kyrie are going to, do your thing, take the bulk of the shots. But what do you guys have to do for game two to start to get some of the other players? And how would you like to see them get themselves involved, get themselves open, cut and moving? A lot of kind of standing around with you and Kyrie are doing your thing. How can we improve that for game two for you guys?
We just got to play like we used to play. We played last 20 games of the season. Passing the ball, cutting, ball moving. I think we did a great job in the last 20 games, so we just got to play like that.
Thank you, Luka.
Thanks, Luka.
Yep, thank you.
Kyrie, what happened during the second quarter when you guys only scored 8 points?
The playoff game, man, scoring 8 points feels like forever. That's what it felt like out there, and I think it started with just how we started off the second quarter and allowed them to feel very comfortable in that first quarter, and there was carryover. So I think we got to give them credit for hitting shots and doing the right things and capitalizing off our turnovers and also our lack of physicality. So it was a combination of a lot of those things where we allowed them to feel comfortable on the offensive end, and then defensively made it easier just in terms of our spacing. So
How do you slow down Zubac going into game 2? He had a double-double at the halftime today.
Yeah, just being mentally prepared, physically prepared to match his energy. Kind of threw us for a little bit of a loop when they started off the game with him posting up. So just got to make adjustments and keep him off the offensive glass and just make it tough for him on those pick and rolls. And again, just match his energy.
To your left, to your right.
That was one of those. Obviously, a week between games and even longer for you and Luka. Just how much did the long layoff kind of play into the first half, just offensively?
Yeah, we knew we were going to have to knock off some rust. And us as a team, we have guys that missed 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Timmy not being here for the past few days of preparation. I'm not saying those things as an excuse. It's just internally those things matter for the importance of what we're getting ready for. And after the first half, we came into the locker room as a team and we talked about the things that we felt like we weren't doing and the things that we need to continue doing at a very high level. But it really centered around the foundational point I'm talking about, physicality, and this being the playoffs. A lot of guys aren't used to being here. A few young guys aren't used to being here, so they don't know what they can get away with and what the refs are going to call. So I think this was a great first test for us, and we obviously failed. We came out with a loss, but I think there are some things we can take into game 2 as strengths that we can continue to push forward and utilize, and just not overthink it. I talked about this a few weeks back. This is a series, not a time to lose confidence. We know our guys, some of my teammates are going to shoot better going into game 2, and we just want to continue to feed them confidence and see where we can control, and then stop them on the offensive end.
To your right.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. I was going to ask about the improved second half. You obviously just covered the physicality and what you guys did at halftime. How much of it was adjustments and just kind of tweaks to some of the things that you guys brought into the first half? And how does that change a series for, game 1 for some adjustments already to be thrown out there?
Wait, ask that one more time, bro. Adjust a lot.
Yeah, so
simplify the question.
Yeah, so how much?
Our guy over here at NBA PR, just don't feel the pressure, man. Just ask your question.
How much was the improved play based off some adjustments you guys made?
Okay, I appreciate it.
And then how much was, how much does that change the rest of the series? Because we all know series, there's adjustments happening all the time.
Yeah. I think there was a settling in process, a grounding process, and I think that's what I was referring to as the last question. Just a few of our young guys, including myself, just settling into our game plan, trusting it. They don't have Kawhi right now, so that was a bit of an adjustment for us when they came out the gates, and they were playing. I would say James and Paul just playing very free, very loose. Knew they were going to get a lot of attempts up tonight. So when you have that when you're going against that type of kind of loose play and that confidence that they exude, you got to really just settle into what the overall game plan is and execute that. And I don't think that we came out very flat or without energy. I just think that our mind was all over the place since our first playoff came together. Got to settle in. And once we did that in the second half, and I felt like we put some stops together, we got some great offensive possessions, and our confidence in it started to get a little higher, and you can see that we were starting to look like the Dallas Mavericks we know ourselves to be. So it's the first game of a long series, and I'm excited to see what happens game 2.
Hey Kyrie, this is from media from China, Jiboye. So we want to know that in the summer, would you have any plan for China trip or any details on that?
Yeah, I'm not focused on that right now, but yeah, there's something that I'm thinking about in terms of later in the summer going to China.
Tim McMahon, ESPN, you mentioned Kawhi. Obviously, you find out like an hour and 45 before the game he's not playing. What is that adjustment process like, and is there kind of a natural psychological letdown, when they don't have, the face of their franchise?
I don't know if it's do you mean to say it's like a letdown or just a psychological kind of test and stuff like that? Okay. Right. Yeah, no, it is a psychological game. Playing chess, playing high level, combative game, competitive game. So when someone like Kawhi, who has a huge presence for their team, does a lot offensively and defensively, isn't playing, then there is a bit of an adjustment period mentally that you got to get ready, because that means that other guys have to step up. And I think we saw that tonight. Guys were making shots, hitting threes, even though their percentages don't necessarily reflect them shooting a high percentage. So we got to tip off our hat for them coming out, hitting us in the mouth in the first 2 quarters, and taking care of home court, playing off the crowd and the excitement, and us being, unprepared for the physicality in the first 12 minutes, and then, after that, we settled ourselves and we got ourselves in the ball game, and we saw some positive things that we can carry over. But I think I have to agree with you. Psychologically, it was definitely a different mindset going in once we knew that Kawhi wasn't playing. And again, as a mature pro, you just got to be ready to adjust and adapt. That's what this game is about.
Hey, Kyrie, what are some of those positives that you can take away from this game?
Going into the second half, I think we really challenged them, and we outscored them in the second half. We got stops, and also, some tendencies we saw from guys on their team that they were really going opposite and really challenging us to guard their different looks. So the first half, I think they had a few plays that we just weren't prepared for, and we got to take that accountability. And in the second half, I feel like once we picked up the physicality and we started demanding that greatness out of ourselves and stopped being afraid of the moment and started settling into what we're in. It's a war out there, the playoffs, metaphorically speaking, of course. So we got to enjoy it and have fun, but at the same time, bring it to these guys. Going against some Hall of Famers, so they're not going to make it easy. I don't even know if we're the favorite in the series, so we just got to really pay attention to what we can control.
2 more, please.
Kyrie, apologize if you were asked throughout the week of practices, but you're going against a guy in Tila who you won a championship with, a couple finals appearances with, I guess. There's a 2-parter. What is that relationship between you guys like? I know when you win a championship together, it's always going to be special. And what do you know about just the way he coaches, the way he adapts, and the way he kind of gets guys on his side?
Yeah, I think I would echo your first statement. We're bonded forever. We did something that can never, thing there. I don't know if it can be done again. I mean, we're one of the only team ever to come back from 3-1, and that took a lot of resilience and a lot of one-on-one communication between myself and him. And also, we had Brian and we had other good guys that were selflessly sacrificing in their careers and were ready to win the championship and just throw it all on the line. So I definitely took some positives from what I learned from him, and now added to who I am as a person and as a competitor now. But me going against him as a player is a little bit different because I can see that he's giving them little cues, and I'm just trying to catch every little detail so I can carry it on to game 2 and make some adjustments myself. So he's grown as a leader. I've grown as a leader. So it's not the same T-Lou, and I'm not the same Kai, but it's just fun now that we can do it as mature chess players.
Along those same lines almost, you and James, I remember when James got to Brooklyn and you was like, you be the one and I'll be the 2. I think that might help him. Definitely, you see what you and Luka have together. How does that kind of help you go through this final series when you guys, for the first time since y'all were teammates, are going up against each other in the playoff series, you and James?
Yeah, well, to answer your first part, I think the true testament of greatness is being able to adapt with other great players and not lose your identity and not fall into the victimization of external distractions and people telling you what you should be and how you should play. I think me and James didn't get enough reps, so we played a few games together, but we didn't get enough reps. But when you're playing with somebody that's special, it makes the game easier. But playing against him, you can tell that when he comes out with an aggressive mindset, it's a different team, and we just got to be ready for his ISO basketball and his one-on-one capabilities and his ability to make his teammates better. So it's good to be on the other side. Definitely miss him, but at the same time, glad that we get to compete against each other now.
Thank you. You have an opening statement, Coach?
No.
So, questions?
Right here.
Right here.
Jason, you guys kind of dug yourself a hole there earlier. What do you attribute the slow start to?
Yeah, I thought we did dig ourselves a hole. Positives, we kept fighting there in the second half. We expected Clippers to come out and be physical. They just didn't respond in that first to their physicality. I thought in the second half we were a little bit, the team that we ended the season with the physicality. And then again, if we're not making shots, I thought we did a great job of keeping them in that second quarter to 22 points. But we couldn't throw it in the ocean. We missed layups, free throws, we missed wide open shots. But to hold a team that's talented like that to 22 points was a positive, and that's what we talked about at halftime.
Jason, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. When you're talking about the physicality and the start of the game, how big of a factor was Zubac?
Yeah, Zubac was big. He dominated here in game one at the center position. They played to him in the post, and we didn't have an answer. So we have to be better. We talked about Zubac and the abilities that he has when shots go up, rebounding. We have to make sure that we send it to him, but in the post, he hurt us. So we got to do a better job of guarding him when he's in the post.
Tim McMahon, ESPN, related to that, obviously, Gafford didn't make any real impact today. Got in early foul trouble. We've seen the impact he's had on this game. Why do you think he wasn't able to, get his fingerprints on this game?
It happens. The first playoff game for this group could be nerves. But give the Clippers credit; they were the better team this afternoon. Again, foul trouble, missed shots. It's part of the game, and that's what happened to us. So our job is to find a way here to get a split on Tuesday. We understand that it wasn't our best effort this afternoon, but just knowing that we know where we have to fix some of the problems, and the center position is one that we have to be better.
To your left, coach.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News. 20 points from Kyrie in the third quarter. They all 8 of his field goals. After struggling kind of in the first half, he was able to kind of turn up the notch in the third quarter. How can he take that into game two? Kind of bottom up.
Yeah, I thought, for us offensively, we had some great looks. We just didn't shoot the ball straight. Give the Clippers credit. But I thought Kai came out in the second half, and I thought he set the tone offensively, being able to get to his spot. And that, I thought, then settled everybody down, and I thought we started to play the game that we wanted to play there in the first half.
Tim Cato, The Athletic. Jason, you've referred to the regular season in the past as a test tube or a laboratory. I'm guessing the playoffs is different. This is kind of what you're going to. That said, when you make that many second half adjustments, and what does that do to a series? Now that you guys have seen some success with them, but they've also kind of seen your next moves.
Well, just understanding we have to be better. Again, we took care of the ball. We did make shots. We're a team that we believe will get those same shots in game two. Hopefully that puts us in a better seat. But again, our defense kept us in the game. But again, in that first half, our offense, we got stuck there in the second quarter. And that's something that we'll talk about, and hopefully we can be better in the next game.
Dwayne Price, Mavs.com. They made 18 three-pointers, shot 50% from three-point range. How do you contain that going into game two?
Yeah, I think when you look at Harden and PG, those guys were 10 for 23. We got to do a better job of keeping those guys inside the line. Harden got them going there in the first half, but just understanding they're talented. They're not just going to cooperate and let us do that. So, but we got to be better.
I was going to ask, what did you think about the quality of the looks that Harden got? Like, getting the miss. What did you think about the quality of the looks he was getting for free?
They were good. They got good looks. We fell down or he got to a step back. And so just as we talked about it before the game, he's seen every defense and he got in a groove there and he knocked him down.
Rashad Miller, Dallas Weekly. Of course, the backcourt did what they had to do, but what were some other positives you saw from the team that could kind of help in the next game?
Second half, we got to play like that in the second half. Just understanding no one quit. We continue to work the game. And we had some opportunities there to get it, the lead cut down. We turned it over, or we missed a three. So I like the way that we played there in the second half, and we got to build on that.
Right here, coach.
There's a lot of talk coming into the series about the stars, and you said that there was probably an X factor, and maybe Zubac too. But your stars ended up with good numbers. Do you feel like they were assertive early in games? You'd like them to be, or do you think maybe they were trying to get other guys involved?
No, I thought they played their game, understanding that they got their numbers and they scored. But I thought Luka was finding the open guy. We just didn't shoot straight. We have to be better at that. We believe we'll get those same looks here on Tuesday. So again, when we talk about the X factor, the role players, everyone has to do their part.
Go, Greg.
Derek Lively, his playoff debut, he didn't score at much, 4 points, 3 rebounds, but he had 3 blocks. Just what were your takeaways from his first playoff game?
Yeah, I thought D-Lot played well for his first playoff game, just to understand the intensity, everything that he's gone through here this past week. I thought he did a good job.
Last question right here, please.
Grant Assett from Dallas Basketball. The Clippers held the offense to 8 points in the paint in the first half. What did you see from the Clippers defense kind of protecting the restricted area?
Yeah, I thought their physicality was the biggest thing that stands out. They were physical and we were passive, so we have to look at that when we look at the video tonight and tomorrow, that the physicality, we have to embrace that and do better on the floor. Understand we got wide open looks that we just didn't make. We were 1 from 6 from the corner from 3. We knocked those down, so we'll look and see how we can get better, and hopefully we have a better effort in the first half.
Thanks, Coach.